Just to foster a little bit of crosstalk, as we were talking, I mean, you're all presenting a sort of unalloyed, optimistic future. And I think sometimes when people talk about disruption, there's a little bit more fear in the air. They're afraid what's going to happen to the things that they've become familiar with. But you guys work in this area more directly. Maybe you can just answer for me. Like, have we changed our perspective on this? Like, have business, have governments, and suppliers and researchers, have they all sort of said, yeah, it's okay that the world I know 5 years ago may not exist in 5 years? We're all on the same train now.
Right. I'll start with that one. If you think about the global local thing I mentioned, it's a bit reassuring, actually. So you can imagine people getting on board with that, because what used to be outsourced either overseas or even outsourced to lower cost regions will now have to come locally. And that's sort of a reassuring story. So even implicitly, if you tell that story, people are going to say, okay, I'd like that to happen, and it's even better if it must happen. And that's somewhat reassuring relative to, I think, what we've experienced up to now is everything has been leaving, right? It started probably with manufacturing going to China, software going to India, call centers going to India, etc. And I think the story of the future might be everything coming back and then being recreated locally. And there are new jobs there this time, right? Because locally you'll have assembly people, you have people managing sort of 3D print facilities, and they have to assemble those components into goods. There'll be the need to deliver those things locally. There'll be jobs in networking and network technologies and underlying technologies and in research for those technologies. And all of that, I think, is actually a good news story. That if I were hearing my own story, I think, oh, I want to live in that world. And it's actually even sort of more powerful than that. It feels like you're going to have a local context associated with the good, with the service, where they actually know your local environment. It's not just it's better delivered from a networking perspective, but it'll actually understand you again. It really will be understanding your particular problem with your particular component, because they'll be familiar with that component. And so it seems to be, it all gets better. So that, I mean, I am an optimist. You have to be if you're a sort of future thinker, because if you're a future thinker and a pessimist, it's probably it's a weak proposition. Right? You're sort of a nihilist or something. But no, but so that I actually believe it.
And I would echo Marcus's comments. It's interesting because it's a changing ecosystem, right? Now we have governments that are funding it via incentive packages or grant packages, but for the first time I think we're really seeing that from their own will, these larger corporations are pushing to move with startup organizations, right? They want to have partnerships with innovation rather than just simply acquiring or perhaps outperforming. But also the growth and the amount of STEM positions, just 1 in 5 jobs in the near future is going to require this sort of generic STEM ecosystem skill set. So we're now seeing that participation from all facets of business, whether it be how to market STEM innovations, whether it be all the way down to the custodian that's cleaning these clean rooms, right, understands what's being built there. So we sort of have that vested interest now in the workers, right, that this is now something that I'm a part of, I understand it, I understand its importance. So it's an optimistic future from that perspective, for sure.